Hi everyone, this is Sam, and I'm going to try to take an objective look at one of the central issues of the modernist fundamentalist controversy, and that had to do with biblical inerrancy. And there were two news articles that I saw nearly 100 years apart that dealt with this very issue. The first is from the Ohio Democrat from 1893, and here they referenced the trial of Dr. Briggs. The Presbyterian General Assembly had gathered, and they were going to address three issues. One of them was the revision of the Creed, so addressing the issue of the Westminster Confession. The second was the Declaration of Inerrancy, and finally the third was the trial of Dr. Briggs. All three of those were related. If you recall, in the Harvey Hill article, that was those three were really at issue with Dr. Briggs and the Presbyterian Church. The second article, written in 1987 and found in the Washington Post, was written in Ridgecrest, North Carolina, and the author writes, quote, "More than 1,000 Southern Baptists from 31 states gathered to grapple with the issue that is tearing apart their denomination, the question of biblical inerrancy," end quote. And what we see is the issue of inerrancy has been with us since the modernist fundamentalist controversy first erupted, and I would argue it has existed since Christianity has existed, and maybe even since Judaism has existed. And that issue is whether the Bible is full of errors or if it is inerrant and completely true. Briggs, if you recall, had gotten involved in certain German theological perspectives, textual criticism, wherein they see the Bible as containing errors and as being not so much written by a single author, being the work of several different humans, and some of the errors or the inconsistencies they point to have consistently been Genesis 1 and 2, where they describe two creation narratives, the Gospels, not just the inconsistencies between the four Gospel accounts, but the fact that they are very similar. They point to a single document, a Q document. They also say Isaiah was written by more than one author, sometimes two, sometimes three Isaiahs. The Pentateuch being written not by Moses, but by several different authors over a long course of time. And this idea really struck at those who were going to be in the fundamentalist camp as, if this is true, then the Word of God is not binding on our conscience today. B.B. Warfield was one of the great examples of men who devoted a great deal of time and energy to arguing the case for the Bible being inerrant, and he really articulated not only that it was inerrant, but described how the inspiration might have taken place of these human authors. And we still see this issue today. If you've ever read any of the works by John Walton, he wrote a book dealing with the Genesis account. And in there, he argues that many fundamentalist Christians don't believe in evolution because they feel to believe in evolution would be to deny a literal reading of the Word of God, and that the Bible would be full of errors in the first few chapters of Genesis. So this issue of inerrancy impacts our belief in the origin of the universe, but also in how we interpret the Bible. And that idea of how we interpret the Bible is particularly important because a lot of Christians don't consider how they approach the Bible. And that's one of the positives which I think the modernist fundamentalist controversy has produced, is this articulation of what is a good hermeneutic, how should we properly handle the Word of God. And I would just pose as a question at the end of here is, how do you handle the Word of God? Have you thought through how you do that? Thank you for your time. Hope you have a good day.